Bitcoin and Litecoin, moon or doom. What's up, guys? Crypto Savvy here. Hope everybody's having a great Monday, and I hope you had a great weekend. We're going to take a look at Litecoin, take a look at Bitcoin, see where we're at, and then we're going to take a look at that Bitcoin daily versus gold weekly chart and show you why I still believe we're headed to 46,000 by the end of the year with Bitcoin. So stick around. Also, I want to remind you guys we have a free Discord group. It's in the description box below the video. There's a free link in there. Click it, check it out. Awesome community, best community in crypto, bar none. Also, there's some affiliate links in there, the newest one being KRAKEN. That is the exchange I use for leverage trading, so definitely check that out if you haven't already. And let's get on with the video. All right, guys, as always, I want to start out by saying I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. This is my opinion and my view of the market only. Anybody that's doing any trading or investing in this market, I suggest you do your own due diligence and your own research, as this market is extremely volatile and risky. Also, keep in mind, it's still a speculative market. Do not put in more than you're willing to lose. And with that being said, if you're new here or you haven't already, hit the subscribe button in the lower right hand side of the screen. That'll get you subscribed to the channel. And if you tick the notification bell, that'll get you notified when I post new videos, as I do post videos every day. Also, if you could, smash the likes, leave your comments, let me know what you think of the video, and let's see where we're at. Looking at Litecoin on the daily, and we were looking at this as a cup and a handle a while back, the smaller one here, and we've changed that now to this bigger one, this being the cup and this being the handle forming possible. Obviously, it's not confirmed yet, but it is looking very good, and we'll zoom into the lower time frames and look at it, and we will look at the bearish and the bullish case scenario. Even the bearish case is still bullish, if you ask me. So let's look at this as a cup and a possible handle forming. And the measured move off that, if we were to break up out of the handle, is around the 271 range. Now, we're going to look at the RSI and see what's going on with this. Let's zoom in a little bit. All right, so we've came into the oversold down here. It does, to me, look like we are going to pop back up and at least test the top of this channel, possibly the bottom of this rising channel. Let's look into the 4-hour. And as you can see here, I have this falling wedge drawn in here. We'll take a look at that in the price action. You can see there was a falling wedge down here we popped up out of, which also got us out of this falling channel here. It is possible that we come down to test the top of this falling channel, but this is looking pretty bullish to me in the RSI. We'll take a look at the price action now. And I'm going to take a look at both the bearish and the bullish case scenario. So if we were to look at what's going on now, this looks to be a possible head and shoulders. This being the left shoulder, this being the head, and this being the right shoulder forming now. Or, like I said, we'll look at the bearish case scenario, and the bearish case would be right here. If this was to drop down, if we extended this and we were to come down and test this and then get our bounce, that would bring us down to about the $87 range, which would also be this blue trend line right here, where we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 touches, and we had this. I would consider this a bear trap, and then we pop back up in here. Now to come back down and test this would be around the $87 range, and if we look at the daily chart, that also would line up with the 200 EMA right here. So that has some confluence there, but I still believe it's pretty good chance that we go up from here, and I'll show you why. This being the, well, I'm sorry, let's get into the bearish case. If this 87, if we were to go down to this 87 range and that was to break, I would be looking at the $69 range, which would be the top of this, or the bottom of this falling channel before a move up. Very worst case scenario, guys, no, Let me zoom in a little bit, is this $62 range, which is old resistance would become new support, which also would be testing the long-term bottom trend line. So that's the worst case scenario. Now is the bullish case, and mind you, that's still bullish. Even if we got down here and come up, I am long-term bullish. I do believe we're still in a parabolic bull run. And like I showed you here, this falling wedge, if this is to play out up here, I would look at this as a bull flag right here. And the measured move of that being, if we took measured this as a flagpole, and this being the flag, bull flag, and we were to pop out around the 128 here. But I do believe we're probably headed to the top of this falling channel here, which would be around the 106, which would also come up to the 200 EMA, which would act as a resistance. If we were to pop through the top of this channel, this is the measured move of popping through the top of the channel, would be around the 137 range. So if we do pop out of this falling channel here, this is my target, 137 area. And that's not to say it stops there. You know, we could actually come all the way back down and retest this before continuing up. But that's why I do daily updated videos. We will keep an eye on that. But yeah, that's where I'm at right now. So I'm definitely looking at this falling channel and see what happens there. I'm going to go over to Bitcoin. I'm going to try to make this video kind of quick, get back in the groove of things. I've been gone for a week. So, all right, looking at Bitcoin. As you remember, we had this rising channel in the yellow, rising broadening wedge, and our measured move off that was 96, which we hit a long time ago. And then we had a measured move coming out of this rising channel we had it at 36 or 13.6, and I believe we hit 13.8. So it's pretty close. And looking at what's going on now, I still believe that I'm still counting this as a bull flag, this triangle here, or a triangle, whichever way you want to look at it. And this being a bear trap, which came down and retested the bottom of this rising channel. I do want to show you my measured moves here. First is just a measured move of the triangle if we were to pop out in this range. And that would get us around the 16.4 area, which would be also breaking out of this rising channel again that we came out of here, came back in. So 16.4, somewhere in that range. And this is the longer term targets. We'll go into the 4 hour and look at the more immediate. But also the other thing I'm looking at is this as a one big bull, or this one big flagpole, and the breakout of that would get us around the 18.6 area, if that was the case there. Now I have a bigger move. If we are to break out of this, come up to this 16.4 area and break up, and again guys, these targets change as the price action goes depending on where we break. If we do break this top trend line right here, which, let me zoom in, I'll show you where it starts. It starts off of these wicks here, and we got another touch. That's 3 touches, so it makes that valid. So if we were to break out excuse me guys, if we were to break out, 29,000 is the target. And you guys know that I've been watching this channel, that doesn't mean we shoot straight up to 29,000. Although I do believe we'll get much higher than that by the end of the year. But I do see, as of right now, I'm looking at these 2 targets. Let's go to the RSI, see what that looks like. If you remember, before I left for vacation, was looking at this as a falling wedge here that we did break out of. Question is, do we come back down and retest the bottom of this line before continuing up, getting into the oversold zone? Let's look at Also, another thing I want to point out, if you look at this volume right here declining, that means we're in some kind of formation right here, and that's why everything has slowed down. Seems like we're doing more sideways movement. That's what happens when we're in a formation, and I do believe once we get to the end of this formation, we are going to have a huge move, whether it be down or up. I believe it'll be up. Let me get rid of that line now, and I'm going to go into the RSI, take a closer look. Oops. So I do definitely believe it's possible, guys, we continue up from here. Let's look at the 4 hour. Same thing in the 4 hour. We had definitely looking like a bull flag there, and I'm going to zoom in and show you that. So if we looked at this as a bull flag, I'm kind of not paying attention to this here. This was kind of, I guess, a freak move up out of like a fake out, maybe a bull trap. But if we took the measured move of this being a flag pull, this being a bull flag, and that would get us up around the 12.3 range. I do believe we're probably going to get resistance first around this 11.6 area, maybe even 11.4, 11.5 when we test the top of this line. Now, what I believe would happen here possibly is this. If we look at this as a triangle, this would be A, B, C, D. One more touchdown here before breaking out. Like I said, still looking at this as a triangle bull flag. Like I said, whichever way you want to look at it. But I definitely believe we are still in this formation. Like I said, this volume's declining here, which means we're in a formation. So let's go into, let's look at the bearish case scenario now, guys. All right, so bearish case. I have this 99.50 range in here. Actually, it's probably a little bit higher than that. Somewhere around the 99 to 10,000 range. And that's if we pop out of here, which is possible because a lot of times in a triangle, it'll pop out, trap everyone down here, and then continue up. But I do believe we are headed up towards these targets here in the very near future. But that's not to say that we don't come down to 10,000 first. If this was to break that 9,900 area, we'd be looking for support on the bottom of this channel again, which would be somewhere in the $9,600 to $9,700 range. I'm going to put another target in there. And somewhere in this range, 96.50 area. And if that was to break, then we're looking down towards this 81 to 8,200, which would be retesting the top of this broadening wedge that we broke out of over here. That's worst case scenario, guys. Like I'd said, I believe we're still bullish here, and I'm looking for these targets up here to hit. That is, let me go into the 1 hour real quick. See if there's anything. No. All right, so that's what I'm looking at there, guys. Just a reminder, definitely give a thumbs up. I am going to look at the Bitcoin daily versus the gold weekly chart. And again, I believe we're going to play around in this range for a while. We could be in here another week or two. We'll keep an eye on it, and I will keep you updated daily. Let's go to the Bitcoin daily chart. As you can see, I have the same triangle drawn here. I also want to zoom in real quick and show you guys something. This trend line that we've had off of these support from the bear market and come all the way across, you can see what this line's doing over here. It was acting as support. We broke back through. Now it's resistance. I believe once we break above this, I don't think that we're gonna go back below it. Let me zoom in a little bit, and we're going to take a look at the weekly gold weekly chart. I'm going to click back and forth so you can see the resemblance. As you can see, I do still believe we're in this area. I've seen people talking about thinking that we're in this area right here. I don't believe so. As you can see, when we came across this blue trend line, which was also old support in the bear market, in the gold, once we broke above that, we never came back down and tested it. And I do believe the same thing here. I don't believe we're going to come down and test this. I believe we're going to pop back up into this and then continue our bull run. As you guys can see, and again, this doesn't play out candle for candle, guys, but it's a pattern. I know people have been calling it a fractal. It's not a fractal in my opinion. A fractal's in the same chart. This is a pattern, and I believe this pattern is going to play out just like gold did. So I'm also going to we're going to take a look at the RSI. I'm going to show you, we've been watching this whole Bitcoin daily versus gold weekly chart since January on this channel. And we also have been looking at the RSI, and this is what helped me call the bottom back in December. Let me zoom in a little bit and take a look at what's going on. As you can see in here in this bull market, you know, it was a bunch of choppy action right here, and I believe that's what we're getting here. This kind of looks like the area we're in now, with huge moves coming. So anyways, I wanted to show you in the weekly RSI on Bitcoin, these two trend lines here. This was a 2013 bull market followed by the bear market. We had two touches of resistance on this trend line before breaking through and beginning the bull run. 2017 bull market followed by the 18 bear market, two touches of resistance before breaking through and starting the bull market. So I do still believe this is where we're at. This is what's going on. And we're going to take a look at the monthly. Now, on the monthly, as you can see, I have these two arcs drawn in here. This one obviously is happening a lot quicker. But this is the 2013 bull market followed by the bear market. Each one of these arrows represents a new low in the RSI. We had 4 of them before starting the bull market. This is 2017 bull market followed by the 18 bear market. Each arrow represents a new low in the RSI. We had 4 of them. Now I believe we're definitely in our parabolic bull run, and it's probably going to be a lot quicker than this one. So that's where I'm at with that, guys. Also, I want to remind you guys, don't pay for these paid groups and these paid indicators that people are selling. It's absolute bullshit. You're just wasting your money. Everything they offer and their tutorials and all that, you can find free all over the internet. Don't waste your money. Don't get screwed. Don't support their lavish lifestyles, drug habits, and gambling habits. It's just not worth it, guys. You're not going to become a great trader just by watching. Learning the basics is totally free, and then put them into use and learn, and that's how you become a good trader. So yeah, I'm sick of seeing people get ripped off by these guys. So many people are taking advantage of new people that don't understand the market and promising them the world and just taking their money. Absolutely ridiculous. If they're that good at trading, they don't need to do that. So anyways, appreciate you guys stopping by. Definitely don't forget to check out the free Discord in the description below the video. Also, the affiliate links really helps the channel out if you guys can use them. Like I said, the newest one being KRAKEN, the exchange I use for leverage trading. And give a thumbs up, leave your comments, let me know what you think, and I will see you guys later. Take it easy.